well, I'm not going to say that. I am honored and blessed to be here with everyone on October 25th today. Everyone say hi, cheese and
Hello,
smile.
hi
We're going to take a
everybody.
picture. Cheese. Okay. Because we always get people going. Eh. So
Especially
I
Amy
thought
with
I would
crazy face.
do something fun and like normal today because we always get. Now, I have to share with you because I just was literally done eating lunch. Has anyone ever eaten a daikon? Have you heard of a daikon? It looks like it looks like a carrot, you guys, and you can get them at farmers markets. You can get them in the grocery store too, but they're like radishes in a carrot shape. And I cut them in little, pieces. They're like little chips. They're crunchy. They're like
But it's raw.
hard. Huh? I eat them
Is
raw.
it raw?
I eat them
Yeah.
raw,
It
and
looks like a parsnip.
they're like radishes. It looks like a parsnip, but it tastes like a radish. And
Oh,
you can put laughing cow cheese on it, and you can put, I mean, you can just eat them raw. You can put, you know, dip them
salt.
in salsa, salt, whatever. Anyways, I eat them raw and love them. So I just want to introduce you to a new vegetable today.
Yeah.
Um, and I was out at Stephanie's farm. Stephanie used to come to these groups, and then she has something that
Yeah.
conflicts now. But I got fresh kale. I got chard from her. It was great. Anyways, welcome to Habit Wellbeing Wednesday. So go out on a limb and try new vegetables. That was my point. Happy health habits. Well-being Wednesday. We are going to talk about the holiday insanity that is going to be upon us, and you have loved yourself enough to be here today. So congratulations, because you did at least one good thing, self-care thing for yourself today. And yes, you are on the right bus. You're on the bus to Live It Land destination known, and that's called thriving, right? We're on the bus to destination Live It, not diet. Are you guys covered up by this? Can you see
I
this?
see it. It's good for me.
Okay. So yeah, we're on the road to becoming the dominant forces in all of our lives, in all areas. No more burnout and worn out and stuck and stressed and struggling. We want to be on the road to integration, from all this chaos and habits of disease to integration. And some of us are in, early on in all this chaos, and some of us are over here in a little bit more, a little bit more peace and sanity. But the good news is it happens, right? So it happens slowly over time before you least expect it. And the bus you're on, by the way, I wanted to read out of this bus, the Energy Bus book. Um, I think we talked about this last time. Winners are not whiners. We're winners, not whiners. We're gonna just, like Betty said in her video, right? Where she whined at me for a minute, she'll whine at us, and then she'll stop. But whiners are not winners. You just get in action. And it talks about the Olympic athletes. They actually they're talking about Olympic athletes, how the athletes actually spend hours and hours of time visualizing their best performances, not just practicing, not just, working out, not just, right. Isn't that something? They spend hours and hours of time just visualizing their best performance or race. So why wouldn't people like us use that same strategy to create a phenomenal life and success? Oh, I think they said that on Monday. That was exactly the point, right?
Yeah.
So we got to create that that especially coming up with this holiday, the sugar season, I call it. Some people call it the holiday season, we call it the sugar season. When we can we visualize these events? Can we visualize them going differently this year? Can we visualize, right, what we want it to look like, and start to create that now before the event happens? I'll tell you what, there was some really raw sharing on Monday night. If you didn't watch it, listen to it, because there was some people saying, you know what, holiday, I had to kick my sister out, and we're no longer doing holidays with her. I mean, people are setting major boundaries and taking their power back around how they want their lives to look and how they want to, what they see as thriving, fulfilled, and successful for them in their holiday. So I just really go. It's very empowering and inspiring, some of the stories of people taking on their lives. Um, so let's just take who was on live and who was not. Anybody?
Yeah,
Carrie,
basically who's had a
Sharon?
chance to see it.
Okay. Carrie, Sharon, let's just take a moment to breathe, right? 90 seconds. Who's got a counter? Oh, 90. We could just count actually. Let's take a moment to get coherent and calm down the lizard brain, right? So 90, 89, breathing and breathing in and out. 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 82, 81, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 69, 70, 69, 68, 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 40, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 30, 30, no, 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Deep breath in, let it all the way out. Give me a high five. High five. Now, in that time, do you think you could visualize how you want your life to be? How you want your choice to be, how you want your holiday to be, how you want the interaction to go, how you want the day to go or the hour. Like that's a long time to think about it, right? That's a long time to let that emotion pass. Sharon, you've been practicing this. I know you've been working in element 23 real hard, and she's been working on the questions on page 476. If you haven't read it, page 476. Do you think does that help you, Sharon, to get a pause between? You're on mute, hon. How about you? Anyone practicing this? Anybody else? I know Candace does. Sharon's on mute. So what's your experience waiting, Sharon? You've been working hard on your mindset. She's been deep into 4, 5, and 23.
I mean, it's calming,
Calming.
but interesting to talk, thinking about visualizing. Boy, it'd be good to do that more than, 90 seconds multiple times a day.
Uh-huh.
Instead of
Yes.
necessarily have to do 10 minutes, which somebody talked about, I think, but boy, if you could do it 90 minutes at a time or 90 seconds at a time would be, I think, impactful.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. 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 Sandy, have you tried any of this, or Betty, have you tried to wait 90 seconds?
Well, not about waiting for a choice, but I was in charge of a big event on Saturday for Church Women United on Zoom. And before I got on the Zoom call, I just sat and quietly breathed and thought about how it was going to come out, how it was going to, how it's going to proceed, because it was a lot of work being put into it before we presented. And it was absolutely amazing. There were no glitches, there were no misspeaking, no missteps. I mean, it was exactly how I had pictured it would turn out. And it was,
The
it
power
wasn't,
of the power of visualization.
yes.
Yeah.
That was perfect what you were just saying, Sandy, and that fits with the Olympians visualizing the win.
Yep. And I think over time, and I think Sharon's right, doing it. I used to try to do it 2 to 3 minutes every time I had a fueling. So I habit stacked it with a fueling. And now I find myself doing it a lot more often during the day when I'm not trying to anchor that. But that was a way that I stuck it to something I was already always doing. If you're trying to learn a new habit, stick it to something you're already always doing. Right. So that
Like
helped
that.
me.
And might actually help you not to snarf the fueling. Actually take some time to chew it too,
Exactly.
or drink it, whichever one you're working on.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So yeah, and I think it goes perfect with our conversation here around what they were talking about for the holidays. So everybody, hey, you know what? It's getting cooler now. So let's put in the chat. What's your hardest thing? Now the weather is shorter and cooler. The calendar fills with events. What are the hardest? Put in the chat. What's the hardest thing for you to maintain during this time, do you think? Carrie, you want to share with me what that is?
Yeah, that's
I,
me
I
saying
don't know how to,
all of the above.
I don't know how to do the chat on my phone. I can't make it happen. So anyway,
That's okay. What about you,
Yeah, just
Candy?
speak up.
nutrition is an ongoing challenge, but exercise, now I have to switch it up because kayak season has officially ended with
Right,
the weather.
right.
And the walking I can still do, but it's going to be different. So my my vision is to get the 2-pound weights out and continue strength training and lifting so that I can still do the kayak in the spring. Because I was looking at a video from a year ago, and a year ago I got out of that boat without help. Something
Mhm.
happened in between a year ago and now, and I know it's extra pounds and kind of lost some strength.
Yep.
So I am visioning that next year I am going to get out of that boat without Steve's help.
So you go back to maybe the little push-up thing challenge you had, or the little goal, the little weights. That's
Right.
okay. What else? Anybody else got a sticking point and a solution they need help with?
And actually, Mary was saying something when I just popped in and before the recording. So that was about converting steps and things.
Yeah, because I'm a stander. I like to stand it when I'm, doing. She was saying count the calories it takes to stand and then convert it to the steps.
Okay. So if it's not on the chart, you can
Mhm.
still obviously calculate it some other way.
Right, exactly.
That's
Thank
good
you, Mary.
news.
Yeah, that's great news because that's a good idea. How about you, Carrie? You're working on your movement with the Get Active Challenge. I know I saw you on that little thing down the block.
Yeah, I actually went again yesterday, and
But your days don't
guess
get shorter.
what? My sister accidentally came with me. I tricked her, and we walked across the bridge over the river. So yeah, I mean, we were out for 10 or 15 minutes. It was
Great.
great.
Awesome. What about you, Tom? What trips you up in this time of the year? What would your answer be?
I got mine would be mindset. It seemed like I get especially at the end of November with all the cloudy days in November, I get a little depressed and stuff. So try to have my mindset more positive.
Your mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you need to do that?
Well, it's interesting that exercise is on here too. I think I have to take more exercise and move around a little bit more and be among people more
Yeah.
in order to get rid of my depression.
Yeah. Absolutely. The more motion, the better your brain feels. Absolutely. Yeah. What can
Yeah,
you do
and
to get?
that
What can
was
you
me
do?
yesterday, Tom. That was actually my goal, just to go outside for 5 minutes. and it ended up being 10 or 15. But the big thing was put shoes on and go out the door.
Yep.
And I did
Yep.
it.
So what
And
can you
Betty's got her
what
mic open.
what
Are
can
you
you
gonna
can
say also, buddy?
what's that?
Betty?
Yes, can you
You have
hear
your
me?
mic open? Yeah, we can. So
You
we just
can?
were wondering if you were
Yes.
gonna comment on
Yeah,
whatever.
hold on, Betty. Hold on just a second. Tom,
Okay.
I want to know what one little movement thing you can do. Let's what can you do 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row that will help you with this? Okay. What can you do?
Let's see. I
Can you
make sure I have enough steps in. I should probably record how many steps I have for the day. And I have s- yeah, maybe go up and down the stairs. I have a basement, so I can go up and down the
there
stairs
you
a
go.
number of times.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's cold and wet out, I'm gonna go up the stairs and get like however many times. Okay.
Yeah, start with
Um,
one, go down and come up.
And if it's nice out, then go outside for 10 minutes and commit to doing that daily. Just a little teeny thing. Or can you do that?
yes, I'll write that down, get that done.
Okay, that's
Yep.
gonna help everything. Everything. Your blood sugar, your mood, everything, right? Okay, how about you, Betty? Now, hey, did everybody see Betty's she's a movie star. She has a YouTube
Yay,
channel.
Betty.
Can you put in the chat, Carrie, the YouTube link?
Right.
She told her story live on YouTube this week with me. It was awesome. Did y'all see it? Who saw it?
I saw it.
If you
Did-
didn't see
did you-
it,
Oh, okay.
go
That
back
was
and
fun.
look. It was, you rocked it, Betty. You really
Oh, that
did.
was a lot of fun. And I'm just sitting here noticing good girl Sandy. She's over there doing her little
Getting up.
weight.
I
Yep.
saw that.
Good girl. And that is one thing that I just dug out, the 1 pound, the 2 pound, and my therapist for my shoulder showed me with the bands how to do some of the same thing, because we don't want flabby arms now that we're skinnier, you know.
Yes.
So we got to work on, and that would be easy. And I do a lot of standing now that I didn't before, but I stand at
Uh-huh.
the counter. I do, before I had to sit at the counter and cook, I stand and do my chopping. I stand and do my cooking. The stool is there. I sit for a second, stand back up again. And so when you figure out how many calories I'm doing, please tell me, Miss.
I will. I'll look it up. We'll Google it. But you know what,
Yeah.
guys? She couldn't even stand at the counter to do dishes. Her house was a mess.
No.
And what I learned, now this is big. What I learned is that this is Betty's big wow for the week. She actually had guests over to her home for the first time in how long, Betty?
It's been quite probably since
Years.
2014, probably a group of people. Yeah.
Because
And
she
I did
couldn't
on
didn't
Thursday
have the
and
energy to
Sunday.
clean. She didn't have the energy to, to do everything, to stand, to make sure the
Yeah.
house was in need, enough to have. So round of applause for Betty. She hit a new
Oh, thank
milestone. It
you.
was what, over
Thank
50
you.
pounds right now, right?
Yes, 52 pounds now.
Yeah, round of applause, girl. She started,
Thank
she has
you.
not looked back, I'll tell you.
I
No.
just want to
No.
tell you, Betty, I'm so proud of you. I saw your movie star
Thank you.
appearance, and what you just said right now about not being able to even have people over to the house because you got to clean
Yeah.
before, you got to cook, you got to clean after.
Exactly.
I totally hear you. That is
Yeah.
beautiful win.
I know. And they don't come over if you assign them you can come in when you go clean my toilet for me. They don't come into your house when you do that.
Why is that?
No, we celebrate you. We celebrate you, Betty. That is
You're
so
so much.
inspiring. And we celebrate Tom for showing up because he needs the
Yes.
socialization and being with people.
Yes. And
Yep.
one thing I was when you said to go out for 5 or 10, just to get a couple of seconds of sunshine on your face, just show
Yes.
your face and get some sunshine. That helps a lot too.
Right.
That
Right.
really does. So
Yep. Absolutely. We got to be around our peeps and we got to have our sun on our face. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No question. And Candace and Roxy, so glad you're here. What else messes it? Mary, what trips you guys up and what kind of solutions do you need? Hey, here's some questions to ask yourself. Okay. We can do this, wrap it in. Where would you like to be in regards to your health on the 1st? Okay. What were your goals in the beginning of the year? Points to ponder. What would you like to continue making progress in? Okay. Because we're never done. We're never done cooking,
Yeah.
right? What would
Yep.
be a win for you over the holidays and if you sugar season, whatever you want to call it. And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you like to accomplish in your health in the next 10 weeks? I love this. This is big thinking and it takes some effort.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so did anyone take a second and write any one of those things down? Or want to
Trying.
put it in the chat
I,
or share it?
I can share, I'll share quickly. At the
Yes.
beginning of the year, I had high hopes of maintaining my goal weight. Then my life went nuts for 6 months, and as you know, I've gained some weight. So my win over the holidays would be to still maintain, because in sugar season, usually that would be
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
your sound went off, Sandy.
Uh-oh.
I'm unmuting you. Go ahead, continue.
I want to continue to do the good sleep and the routines that I've got mastered, and really work hard on less sugar. I'm not going to say no sugar because I know that's not real for me, but less sugar. And I want to, get back on the path to optimal health. I'm at okay health. I'm not miserable. I'm not unhappy with myself. In fact, I love myself, but I know that when I was a little lighter and a little stronger, I did feel better mentally and physically
Right.
and
So
emotionally.
you got to write down, so write down that's your why, make it clear and visualize it. Get that picture out of you lifting the kayak. Okay. And put that in front. Right. Everybody get real visual. And then your option, she's picking option 3. She's going to be more mindful. Okay. She's not going to stay on plan and stay truly true to any plan. Option 2 is plan-ish and option 3 is mindful. And making sure, as always, eating 2 to 3 hours, every 2 to 3 hours. That is the key to your kingdom. If we don't do that, we are sunk. Okay. Every 2 to 3 hours, and water, water, water. If you do that, you're at least going to be maintaining status quo, controlling portion sizes. You're going to stay, you'll be able to get through the holidays without gaining. Now, the option 4 is no plan and plan to fail, right? If you have no plan, you plan to fail. And
Exactly.
that you're going to walk out feeling your future self, Betty, is going to be really angry at you, right?
Yeah, you bet. Yes. I'm
Yeah.
not facing
We're all
her in the
accountable
morning.
to Betty.
Yeah.
Not facing her.
You're not going to feel good in the morning when you wake up, that future
And
self.
what I heard from you, Sandy, I heard a beautiful affirmation in there. I am open to being lighter and brighter.
Yep.
That's Sandy.
And she also said, I love myself.
That was awesome.
I'm open
Yes.
to being lighter and brighter. I'm open to getting the, through the affirmation, the holidays without, finding more pounds. Whatever it is, we've got to have a visual of it and an affirmation around it. Sharon, please share. You've been using affirmations every morning. You've been killing it with the mental gym. Please share what you've got going on, what you're doing every day
I
to keep
think
your
she might have
mind.
stepped away.
Oh,
No, there she is.
oh, okay. I see her head there.
Yeah.
But we'll have her come
Go
back
ahead.
when she comes
She's
back.
there.
But she's been
I'm
spending
here.
okay. Serious time in the mental gym. Share with everybody what you're doing. You're doing a miracle morning, or a model morning, as Dr. A calls it. What are you doing?
Well, I've been using the one, oh, what's her name? The wellness affirmations.
Oh, Louise Hay.
Yeah, Louise Hay.
She's
Amy
nice.
sent this out. Really, really easy, and really concentrates on your health. I mean, I do a meditation, and I do that, and multiple things. Exercise then. So,
But she does the mental gym stuff first,
Yes.
the life book, the affirmations. She has her questions on her card. She's looking at element 23 really hard. Like, what is the emotion? What is it telling me? Okay, what's at stake? What do I want to have happen? She's really doing the work in 23. And she is working it. And she has to, because she's a recovering sugar addict, right, Sharon? And I want to give everyone give Sharon a round of applause, because she's helping her brother out. Her brother now is actually learning how to become not
Yay.
yeah.
Good.
And she freely admits sugar addiction, so she's getting to that next level of through in her world, like around people. So she's getting to that next level of sharing her reality with folks, and that's a huge breakthrough, because if we stay in the closet and we don't share, it's not real. But now she's really out there and open with it, open and honest with it. So
Yeah, and Sandy put in the chat, or Wendy, I'm sorry. Wendy said, like Sandy said, a little more exercise. And she'll need to plan midday walks, not wait until later when it's dark, and it's getting dark sooner. And working on mindset, because we all get a little more down when the weather is cool and gloomy. So good ones, Wendy.
And Wendy, do you have plans for socialization too? Because I know you don't like to be isolated much either. That was one of your goals a while back.
Well, I'm working outside of my house at the stadium now, like on average twice a week. So that's keeping me busier. It's more, I'm more concerned about January, February, when there's less going on. So I'll have to make conscious decisions on. But
well, we're here on Wednesdays.
Stuff will. Well, and the other day I was saying about like mindset and mood. So you see why my hair like looks like an angel? I have an light, which is one of those true light bulbs.
Yep.
Like behind here, which helps with the seasonal effect.
Yeah, is that like the full spectrum lighting?
Full spectrum bulb.
Yeah, so that's why my hair looks sort of angelic, because I have this.
Yeah, well, keep it up.
Light behind me. So I always have that, and it's in my other room where I sit and watch TV. I have it's light or true light or full spectrum light bulb.
Yeah, okay. those really help, Tom, in the winter. Get a if you struggle with that, get a full spectrum light bulbs.
Okay, this is sort of off topic, but I have show and tell. Look what I found, Dr. Amy. I gotta find the picture.
Oh my goodness, is that Amy?
Wait, let me see. I can't see all the pictures at once when I'm on screen.
Showing a picture of you.
Oh, that's me! Oh my goodness, where did you find that? Oh, it's a flyer back from Chiropractic USA days.
It's not focusing, but
where did you take that up?
It's a flyer of some sort.
Yeah, it's from her. It's the letterhead from her chiropractic office.
Oh my goodness, what on earth? Where did
funny.
you
It focuses on the face, but not on the
words?
Because
I pulled out, my neck was really stiff, so I went and found my bag of all the apparatuses stuff I got.
All of the traction stuff?
Yeah, I had to do my neck traction thing, and I was looking for the bag, and I found the folder.
That is
blast from the past. Do you remember that one too, Margot?
Yep, she probably put it together, Margot.
I was thinking.
Yeah, Margot probably made half of it. So yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome,
thank you so much for sharing that, Wendy. I love you. Mwah. We have such a history together. Such a history. So speaking of Betty, her future self, she speaks to a lot. She knows her future self, and she has conversations with that person. Remember, they talked about on the video, gratification versus satisfaction. Short-term gratification never trumps long-term satisfaction, y'all.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that was one of the points I really liked in the webinar. That
that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And Kathy, I see your mic is open. Were you wanting to say something, Kathy? I just saw your mic was open.
Yeah, Kathy has a win of a humongous win, or two. two actually, one humongous one and another one. And then I would like to hear from you. What are your answers to these questions, right? What yet do you want to accomplish, and what's a win over the holidays for you? Okay, so I'm going to take this off stop share here for a second. And then we know our options, right? What option are you picking? Okay, so let's focus on those. All right, Kat, share your win.
So my win, I had my annual physical, and I actually have a low body, what is it, BMI, a low BMI, which that's never, ever, ever happened. I've always been on the high end. So last year he said I was too high. And now he said I'm actually, it came out, it printed out on my report, low BMI. I about fell off my chair. So he said, don't lose any more weight, but maintain now where I'm at. But I was so happy. I mean, I've never seen that on my physical before.
That's amazing, Kathy. And you know what? Just for the mindset thing, now that you're in maintenance, maintain your weight, it's actually the optimization stage. So
Ultra
you're
health.
going to optimal.
Yep. Now she's going to be working on strengthening, right?
Ultra health.
In fact, I am, Betty, getting the arms, the flabby
Yep.
arms.
Yes,
So I've got
I know.
Yep. Getting the muscle work going on. That is
Yes.
awesome. Here's the
Yeah.
other thing. Kathy has become an admitted sugar addict as well. And guess what Kathy has done?
Off sugar.
You tell her.
Well, I'm not off sugar, but I said I was really tempted this last weekend. We had a couple parties, and with all the Halloween candy, and I just had to stop and take that 90 seconds and think about it. Like if I took one, I would be taking 50. So I couldn't take one, and everybody kind of noticed it, like I wasn't eating my chocolate, and it's like I can't, because I can't stop once I start. So that was super helpful to stop and just think about it.
Yeah.
You took your 90 seconds and went, now let's see, if I do this, I'm going to be, 2 handfuls of deep in about 5 minutes. And I know myself, and I won't be able to stop.
Yeah. Yes. We
You know
know
what?
that.
That is a huge win. Huge win.
It was super, super good. Felt good. And I kept thinking in the back of my mind too, I just got this good physical, I've got to maintain this now. So that was also helpful.
Yep, absolutely. Now, we're working on the muscles, and guys, think about wearing, little ankle weights and little 1 or 2 pounder weights. I have them in a biking jacket vest, and I can wear it around with little weights on my body and do squats with weights on my body. That's a way to increase muscle mass, and the bands too. Now everybody think about a tradition that scares you coming up, because there's a bunch of traditions that people do. Okay. Think about your traditions and pick one that comes to mind right now and think, okay, what can we do instead of that tradition? Because I love the video. Sharon and Kathy, what did you get from Monday night? Anybody watch Monday night? What was the takeaway around traditions? Anybody want to share?
Well, I was listening to it and I was walking, so I didn't take any notes, but I just remember, like she said, you can do different things. You don't have to have the same tradition, make new ones, which really kind of stuck with me, because, I remember my grandma and then my mom, and then, we did all the cookie baking, and we'd make 12 different kinds of cookies, and then they'd be in your house for a month. And it's just like, I can't do that anymore. So I've got to come up with a plan. I know that, the grandkids like that. So maybe I'll cut down how many I make, or won't make as many, so they're not hanging around for a month. I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet, but.
Yep. Or okay, so you're going to visualize a different cookie making thing, and you're going to visualize how you want it to be different this year. And you're going to do it because you're committed to it. And that's the point, right? Is that, you know what? Traditions were old, they're passed down, but are they important to us now is what I got out of it. And do they serve us now? Do they serve us now? Do they serve the future self now? Because it doesn't have to be that way just because it's a tradition. You can, you know what I'm saying? So who else has something that they're thank you, Kathy. That was a great share.
Well, I have the same thing, the cookie baking. And I thought, well, then I love to bake. I'll bake them and give them away. And then I thought, well, then you're giving somebody else not healthy food.
Your addiction.
Yeah.
Just pass it about my addiction. How kind would that be? Not.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
So maybe a
Exactly.
different kind of sharing treats like fruits and veggies or, whatever,
Well,
or nuts, nuts
and just
instead
on
of.
that topic, I don't know, Amy, if you posted yet, but they were passing around Halloween treats, but alternative, healthy.
Mhm.
If anyone wants that recipe book, just put your hand up right now and you'll get it in your email today.
Yeah, it's in it's in our big chat already. I
Yeah.
put it there for,
Okay.
But
Yeah,
they were
one of
really
the-
neat.
Has it in
go
there.
ahead, Candace, go ahead. She looks
Well,
gorgeous
first of all,
today.
yes, I do want that, what Carrie was talking about. That's why I had my hand up, but I was gonna say,
But you
that,
got called on anyway.
yeah. But I was gonna say a couple of things as far as like walking up and down the stairs or going outside for a few minutes or whatever. What always helped me was to have my favorite music with me. And even with the breathing thing, if I do the breathing technique, it goes really fast when you're listening to your favorite song that relaxes you and just doing the breathing along with it. That way
Yes.
you don't have to count or look at a clock because that's really stressful.
Yes.
And then the other thing, my tradition or what I traditionally get into when it gets colder is hot chocolate and all the stuff that goes with it. And so I was thinking, a little bit of tea that I really like, along with just a touch of some almond milk or something in there would be really good too. Instead, something that has some flavor to it and would be way less calories and way less problem than
Yeah,
the
there you
hot
go.
chocolate.
There you go. Visualize. So your favorite tea, your almond milk, and how about a flavored stevia, toffee,
Yeah.
raspberry chocolate, something, right?
Yeah.
Actually, you just gave me an idea
And
because
the
what I was going to say is we have a tradition that every night after dinner we have dessert. And for I don't know how many years, my husband makes ice cream. So we would have a bowl of ice cream every night. And so we just finished off the last batch and he's like, it's been a while. I mean, he hadn't made it in a while. He's like, it's been a while since we've had it. But what you just said, Candace, hot chocolate or the pudding of the fuelings,
Yeah.
put in your cinnamon and clove and nutmeg and
Yeah,
it's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, see, you just answered it for me, Candace.
dude, the ice cream would be gone in my house in like 0.2.
Yes,
Not
me-
make the ice cream.
yes.
Well, then he would make it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be gone, but then he would make it.
Mm.
It just has to freeze overnight, 24 hours. And,
Hey.
yeah.
Here's another idea, guys. Here's another idea. Frozen bananas and then whip them up if you want them smooth, eat frozen bananas. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. Okay. Cut them up in pieces, dip them in some dark chocolate. So you have very minimal, right? If you want chocolate, minimal sugar, dark chocolate, darkest you can find, or just plain. I mean,
Yeah,
when you're
I
on
have
sugar
to
for a
do-
long time, bananas are very sweet. Okay. And then if you
Probably
blend
too
them up
sweet.
after when they're frozen, it's really good. It tastes just like ice cream. And then don't forget, you can put your shakes in coffee. You can put your shakes in Dandy
Yeah.
Blend. Make your shakes hot.
Yep, I
Right?
do that. I
Yeah.
do that.
And the banana smashed in with the chocolate pudding. I
Yes.
think I'm gonna do that tonight.
And
Yeah, that
mix
sounds
up
good.
mix up brownies or cookie dough and put it in the freezer till it's nice and cold and not quite so super hard, or even
Of
the
the fueling.
oatmeal. Freeze them so they end up feeling like ice cream. So Sharon
Okay.
has got her husband on that. Sharon's got her husband started on that. He doesn't complain. He has to let it thaw a little bit, right, Sharon? But
He has.
it still tastes good. He just
Mhm.
has to wait a little while for it because it's harder than he wants it to be. Which isn't a bad thing.
No.
One thing I took away was shift to something that brings you joy. So I think about the holidays, Christmas music, and doing games when your family's there instead of eating and then watching TV but do games that
Yeah, that would be.
maybe keep your mind away from food. I don't know.
I thought
Yeah.
that was a great idea. Or even if you do Halloween, have a little game or a little toy instead of a candy.
Yeah.
and have a something spinning wheel or what something. I
Well,
love that.
And
Yeah.
and just any social event, it's like,
Yeah.
why do we have to bring my sister is now known as the one that makes the dessert. Like, can we do something healthy?
Yeah.
I
You know
was-
what else I love for dessert? You guys, frozen berries and frozen black cherries are the
Mhm.
And
bomb.
frozen grapes.
Yeah.
Frozen grapes. I mean,
Use them instead of ice cubes.
it's God's dessert, you
I
know?
had
Yes,
some
yes,
frozen
it is.
cantaloupe yesterday,
And it
last night.
doesn't take that many.
Mm-mm. No, no.
That's super.
We call that dessert by God, not dessert by man, right?
I had
Comes
a
in its own little
cantaloupe that
packaging.
was too ripe or getting too ripe and I couldn't eat it, so I just chunked it up and threw it in the freezer and I dug it
Yep.
out last night.
Well, good, good.
That's awesome. Get a bag of frozen berries at Walmart. It's not that much money, and
Yeah,
just
or
have
Costco,
it.
same thing.
And
Yeah.
then we portion them up, of course, pre-portion them into half cup or cup containers so that
Yeah.
we're not eating the whole bag because you could.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, portion
Yeah,
them
or
up.
just a handful on the pudding or
The same thing happens with berries.
Yeah.
You could eat, my husband could eat the whole bag. So it's very, yeah. So pre-portion them or put them in baggies or whatever. Planning ahead. These are great ideas. What else did anyone get out of Margot? You haven't shared yet. What'd you get out of the Roxy? Jane, I'm glad you're here.
oh, Margot's on.
Evan, can you
Oh,
hear
Margot.
me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I thought it was interesting when she made the simple comparison that if you're on the program over the holiday time, you have some 400 meals and only like a dozen of them or so really relate to the holidays.
Yeah.
So looking
one.
at that and how you deal with them makes it so much simpler.
Yeah.
When you realize that the rest of your program or rest of your plan can be made so simple and easy to follow.
Yep. If we just don't choose option 4 and have no plan and we stick on it every 2 to 3 hours, we'll be okay.
Where you focus
that-
much on the holiday itself and you keep thinking about that. And you're thinking about what foods and how and all of a sudden you start thinking about, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to have this and I'm not going to be able to have that. But then when you start looking at all the different 5-in-1s you've done over the course of the year and all the different meals you've created and the things you can have that are delicious and nutritious and filling and wonderful for the family plate.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah. And maybe instead of feeling like we have to be in the kitchen all the time, why don't we go outside for a walk, sit on the deck if it's not too cold, or
Create
sit by the fireplace and actually have conversation or play games.
Create
Those are great traditions.
experiences. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. What matters most? I keep talking about that. I recently did a values exercise with my husband, which was like pulling teeth to do, but I realized getting him to do it, I mean, but I realized that I really value experiences. Like I am hugely into experiences. I don't want to, you know what I mean? That's a value for me. So what matters most? What do you want? You know?
Yeah.
The food? Does the pumpkin pie matter? Are you valuing it more than like what else you could do? Anyway. They mentioned
the time together, the conversation, the family photo, gifts or something. Or reminisce.
And they mentioned page 89 and 90. The one gal mentioned page 89 and 90 in the life book, and she said, just make sure that one really weak spot you have in the holidays, just anchor a little teeny baby micro habit around it so that it's something that you can laser focus on. The one macro habit that's going to trip you up during sugar season, and let's come up with a cue or a thing that you could, a micro habit you could install just to prevent yourself from disaster. So I thought that was a good point.
You know what else I thought was interesting was her talking about the stress of the holidays, how you're doing so much, especially if you're someone who has a lot of people over for the holidays, you're stressing so much over how you're going to do, what you're going to do, what you're going to have, what it's going to be. And then the other part of that is the alcohol part. And if you think back over the years to anybody that has a lot of wine or whatever with their holiday meals and their gatherings, and you start thinking about what was that day or evening really like, and what would it have been like if we were serving mocktails and sparkling water and things like that. And if you really think about it, you can probably pinpoint at every one of those events where somebody got out of control.
Things got ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And why? Why? You know, when you're inviting them together to share and to have time with loved ones and that, and you turn it into something that's, first of all, stressful, and second of all, not a positive event when it's all done. So your memory of it isn't that loving gathering. It's like, well, can you believe that Shirley did this? And can you believe that Harry did that? And
Yeah.
it's like it all, everything that you put into it meant nothing because it was all overshadowed by that.
Yep, and this happens at any holiday, any gathering all throughout the year, right? Any event.
Oh, yeah, any gathering.
And I loved what one gal said is she's like, there's never not a season. There's never not a reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just pick your lane and stay in it.
Yeah.
Period. I love that. Pick your lane and stay in your lane. That's what my coach tells me, Carrie, all the time. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your, not you, Carrie, but my other Carrie.
Yeah.
Roxy, you haven't got to share yet. She's constantly reminding me to stay in my lane because I'm all like, oh, look at the bells and whistles. Anyway, what about you, Roxy? What?
I just listened half of the program, and you already said what I hear about alcohol and making new traditions. Just picking new ideas, like the old ideas haven't worked in the past, so we just have to change our thinking.
Yeah.
I like that Candace brought up the idea that even just her tradition is hot chocolate when it gets cold out. It's not even a holiday, it's a tradition though. It's and we create these like ice cream after. It's tradition. That's what we do. Well, do we
But
have
it's not just any hot chocolate, it's a fully loaded.
do we have to do that?
Yeah, but cinnamon and clove and nutmeg don't add anything. I mean, calorie wise to a fueling. Those
Amy,
feelings are
before we end
good.
today, because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, can I put in
Yes.
a little plug for breast
Yes,
cancer awareness?
Did everyone see Sandy's story? Just
Mammogram.
up as a clown.
Yes. Yay,
No.
Sandy.
Go to my Facebook page. Betty is live telling her story. Sandy is dressed full on clown garb, all in pink for breast cancer awareness. And if you have the link, Carrie, you can put it in the chat, or I'll put it back in. It's been in the Habits of Health chat, Happy Health Habits chat. So go back or go to my page. Beyond brilliant. So please share, Sandy.
So here's the message: breast cancer awareness, preventable. Sugar feeds cancer.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. It's like
Sugar
fertilizer.
feeds cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that when my mom got cancer, she was infuriated that the doctor just sent home a 6-pack of Ensure, which is loaded with sugar.
Yep.
She's like, I might as well just pour fertilizer on it.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might as well. Absolutely. So, absolutely. So Sandy, thank you so much. There is honestly, there's no other person on the planet that could have, she and I, done that together. Her completely spontaneously, full costume garb. It was hysterical.
It was beautiful,
It was
Sandy.
excellent. It was excellent.
And
Sandy,
you
how long
guys,
have you been clowning?
she's been clowning
clowning
for a long time. She's been a licensed clowner and a certified clowner, but she was just beyond brilliant. So don't miss it. And yes, sugar feeds cancer. And remember, boundaries are up to you, right? Stay on your page, stay in your lane. Boundaries are up to you. And if you're feeling icky about doing something, saying yes, yes is yes and no is no. If it's icky, then you gotta pick a lane. Okay. So just remember, if you're having trouble with boundaries, if it's icky, you gotta pick one side, pick a lane. You can't drive down the middle. Okay. There's a scripture on that somewhere. You like your yes mean yes, your no mean no. Okay, weight loss. And I have to add, you all, most of you are in the steps challenge. Please go to the actual page and post or comment or, you know, cheer other people on, because there's a lot of activity in there, and it really means a lot to people when they get commented on and, you know, and supported. So share anything you have to share, good, bad, or ugly, because it's all helpful. Okay, share your ugly. And fly the ugly flag. I don't, you know, that's also very, very good to do. And then just know raise your hand if you know someone on a weight loss drug before we close up here. One of the new Ozempics and yeah,
2, 3 hands gone up.
several people. So we've had some coach trainings on this, guys, and while I have definite feelings, and we talked about it last time about it, we need healthy habits, we don't need drugs. People are going to do it because they're desperate. They are going to do it because they're addicts, unwilling to deal with the addiction.
Yeah.
And they're looking for that. And so they are going to do it. So here's the thing Optavia is partnered with, and they've got a doctor, nurse, staff. They've partnered with a medical establishment, and they've done actual studies where, of course, adding the lifestyle, the behavior modification, the habit reprogramming stuff that we have, along with eating every 2 to 3 hours and hydration, is the skill set. It is the basic skill set that those people still need to learn. So
yes.
If
it's not rocket science,
it is
but
not
it's
rocket science, and it's not the drug or the healthy habits. It's both.
Yeah.
Because admittedly, and all the doctors will come on and say, here's what they're teaching us, here's what the drugs do. But they are admittedly saying these are just temporary tools. They still have to learn healthy habits, period. There's never been a drug that has changed a healthy habit. So if your friends say, and you run into this, say, oh, I'm good, I'm on whatever, right? Go, oh, really? Okay. Really? Are you then? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And just invite them to learn more about the healthy habit. What I've really learned is how to stick with my habits. And I really learned how to hydrate regularly. And wow, I'm learning.
And tell them, I learned how good it feels to have a healthy habit.
I am learning to live it. And I'm committed to stop the diet and the quick fix. I'm learning to live it. And I'd love for you to learn more, because I'm happy the drug is working for you, but man, this is the best thing I've ever, right? I mean, just focus on I'm learning to live it piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you know that good, healthy habits actually rewrite your brain also?
They do.
That's what it is. You're reprogramming.
Yes.
Go for a reboot.
Yep. Helps with addictions. Absolutely. So we don't do either or, we do all of the above. And I've got clients who've gone and done it. And so we know we're just working together because there's no other solution. So, any other wins of the week or skinned knees that anyone needs help with? I think you all got a chance to share. Jane, I think Jane's iPhone, that might be Jane S, but I'm glad you're here, Jane.
Yeah, she came in about halfway. So welcome, Jane. We're glad you're here.
Yep. Jane S or Jane V, one or the other, but we're glad you're here. So yeah, this has been really fun. Thanks for being on this Live It Bus, gang. I love you guys. You make my week. Your sharing and caring makes my heart happy.
So Wednesday crew.
Yep. Yay, Wednesday crew. So keep Karen and Sharon, and one day, 1 hour, and one fueling at a time.
Yeah.
Love ya. Mwah. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
You guys.